Dinosaur Press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv. The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosates that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Okay, guys, we've only got 2 segments left here in this hour, in the first hour. Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, Army combat veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq is here. We've got also investigative journalist David Knight, who you hear host the show sometimes, InfoWars Nightly News. Okay, you've got a bunch to cover, breaking this down, a bunch of clips. So you guys have got the floor in this segment and the next to go over this.
Well, Alex, one of the things that I was looking at as we were going out there was a conference that they had in 2006, the Center for Asymmetric Warfare. And that kind of gives their overall view, their strategic view of what the problems were with the insurgency in Iraq. And I thought there were some amazing parallels to the Tea Party, to what's happening in America. But to start out with this, what is legitimate government? This is Dr. John Esposito, Georgetown University. He's a professor of religion and international affairs. He'd said earlier in the conference that this is absolutely not about religion. This is about political and economic self-determination. This is when people feel like they've lost their freedoms, they have no control over their lives. That's what's really motivating him. He said religion provides a framework for that, but it's this other stuff. And
it's the bitter clingers that don't like globalism.
Exactly. And he said, what is legitimate government? Let's play that clip.
The bottom line, which I think should be a no-brainer, but there's still some debate about it among different people, is that the primary cause, it has to do with political grievances, with the issue of occupation, power, distribution of political power, not with religion or bad theology. But religion plays an important role, and I'll refer to that in a second.
So they're calling people that are resisting occupation terrorists.
Exactly. And so there's a lot of parallels to what they see going on in Iraq and all these other countries that they've invaded. They see that same thing happening here in America. That's why I think it makes perfectly good sense from their standpoint, from their perspective, that Tea Party groups are analogous to the Muslims that they're fighting in foreign countries, because they're both concerned about their loss of self-determination, their loss of dignity. But he has a clip there where he says, how do we determine what these regional governments are that are legitimate? Which ones are legitimate? And he goes, well, a good yardstick is to see how dependent they are on security for their stability. In other words, the more they have to crack the whip on people, ramping up security in order to keep the country stable, that shows you that it's an illegitimate government. What does it say when we've got a 9% approval rate of Congress and they're hammering us with the militarization of the police?
Absolutely. North Korea is militarized. It's illegitimate. Mexico is militarized. It's illegitimate. America's militarized. It's illegitimate.
Exactly. And I want to play this clip, too, of the Eliminate the True Believers, guys. This is a colonel. He's a retired U.S. Marines, and he was in it for a very long time. He took pride in the fact that he never was part of the Pentagon. He never had any assignments at the Pentagon. He was always in the field. And listen to what he says about true believers.
These guys who are coming in are the most dangerous of all because they're true believers. And true believers, whether they're Muslim, they're Christian, or they're Marine, are dangerous people because there is no other way other than their way. And you've got to eliminate them.
Unbelievable.
See, you got to eliminate anybody that has some hardcore principles.
You don't want to have your 5-year-old taught how to be have sex by the public school. Well, you've got to be eliminated.
And he includes in there, you know, he's a Marine. He includes in there Marines. So he doesn't want Marines who are true believers. Maybe they truly believe in the Constitution.
No, they say #1 terror threat is veterans. Yes. They're coming after the people they've already used.
They know that we've gone over there and we've seen what's behind the curtain. And they know that, you know, we all went in there with this belief that we were going to be fighting for this pure thing. And then now we see the evil back there and we're standing up. And now all of a sudden, patriots are now the new terrorists.
That's right. You got to eliminate the people with a mindset of Captain America.
Can we play that again and tell folks who this is saying that?
This is Colonel T.H. Hames, H-A-M-M-E-S, retired U.S. Marines, and this is the Center for Asymmetric Warfare Conference back in 2006, 8 years ago.
I got to say, this is really creepy. How did you dig this up?
It's on YouTube. It's on their YouTube.
No, but what made you think to go find it?
Well, I'm looking to see anything I can about the Center for Asymmetric Warfare, and they've only had a couple hundred people watch this over 8 years. So nobody's paying attention.
Wow, let's play that clip one more time.
These guys who are coming in are the most dangerous of all because they're true believers. And true believers, whether they're Muslim, they're Christian, or they're Marine, are dangerous people because there is no other way other than their way. And you've got to eliminate them.
Guys, can you pull up later the FBI clip for the next time where the weathermen said they had to kill the American people because we're true believers? I mean, this is really creepy talk.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
And the same guy also says, he talks about the poverty of dignity. If you guys can pull that clip up. And he says it's not about specific causes. It's about not having control of one's life. Go ahead and play that clip.
The course is really the poverty of dignity that Dr. Esposito explained so clearly. It's not about specific causes as much about as I have no control of my life. And whatever I'm rallying around, whether it's the Tamils, the Chechens, the Sunnis, Islamic, it's really about getting control and having a say in how my life runs.
Oh, that's so evil that people having the globalists run over them want to run their own lives and have their own government. That is so evil. That sounds almost as bad as George Washington.
You know, Alex, when my wife was getting her master's degree in education, one of the classes that they had to take was a B.F. Skinner class. And the title of the book was Beyond Freedom and Dignity. A lot of people are familiar with that. It's been widely read. The idea is that it's a deterministic behavior modification, treating people as if they were animals and removing their freedom and their dignity. He was absolutely opposed to that. And that's what we see happening. TSA is a perfect example of that, taking your dignity, not just your freedom, but your dignity. And that's what this colonel is talking about. He said it's the poverty of dignity that is motivating these people to rise up against the...
He's basically saying free will.
Exactly, exactly.
What's the next clip?
Well, the next clip is, and I think this is kind of interesting, this is from Dr. Hoffman, and he's talking about the U.S. having an unbroken string of defeats.
I think it's safe to say that the United States has now nearly an unbroken string of frustration in fighting insurgencies over the past 4 decades, beginning certainly with Vietnam in the 1960s, continuing with El Salvador in the 1980s, especially during the first 5 or 6 years of our
Now they want to start a war with American people. That's
culminating for the
they can't kick the Iraqis' butt. They can do it with us.
The response to insurgency, again, as TX had said, and just to emphasize this and repeat it, must focus on the political as well as the military dimension.
So again, he
InfoWar
to the political, exactly. But the thing,
these are top professors, by the way. That's a top Georgetown professor.
And this is a guy from the Rand Corporation. He spent a long time at the Rand Corporation. And he's talking essentially about America's had an unbroken string of defeats. And
Rand Corporation came up with a plan to occupy America with military forces.
Yes, yes.
It's the national stability system.
The good thing is that they understand that they haven't won any of these counterinsurgency wars. They haven't won any of the COINTEL programs. And they are not winning with high-tech weaponry. And that's one of the other things that this Marine Colonel Hames was talking about. He said, low-tech usually wins. And you don't have to have air superiority to win. That's what they've seen.
Yeah, they're always saying that the globalists can take us over. It's the opposite.
Exactly.
Your experience, Biggs?
Well, the scary thing is, for once, you know, yesterday being on the other side of the fence, in a sense, you know, when I came in, per se, I was on the dark side, you know, and I was taught to look and treat people like just objects. You know, when someone came to me, I didn't care about any kind of personal problems they had. They were just a being that was in front of me, and I didn't care what they said, and just ignore them and push them aside. And I had my mission to complete. It was crazy being on that other side yesterday and being a victim of that. I mean, it's a scary thing to see that you've got these guys with this kind of power that don't even look at you like you even exist in any kind of way, and you're just just flesh and bone, and then they can just do whatever they want.
And they're training for a total treason mission to overthrow America and take our guns.
Steadily. They're doing it steadily. They don't want to do it all.
And these guys all know what they're doing. These Rand Corporation guys, Georgetown, all these Marine Corps colonels, they are training for the total takeover of America, and their enemy is the Tea Party.
That's right. Total contempt for any transparency. They don't want us to know anything that they're doing.
Gentlemen, we'll be back when the final segment in this first hour. More clips coming up, and we'll try to dig up that other amazing clip where they admit they want to put us in FEMA camps. Stay with us. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record. Reports documented a 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super male vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural